Hi, I'm Leah Newman. I'm the gallery director and curator here. Welcome to our annual student art exhibition. This exhibition, in a normal year, we would have a pretty lively event. There are over 50 works on view. Works are selected by faculty members from the fall and spring classes. And as you listen tonight, you'll notice that many of the works come from students across majors. It's in diverse media as well. Because the faculty select the works, we always bring in an outside juror. So today we'll introduce our juror in just a moment, Dr. Emily Stamey, and she will present the awards tonight. Then we'll move into individual student presentations. For those of you watching in YouTube Live, we're about 15 seconds behind, but you are able to engage with students and ask questions through the chat feature. So we ask you to get your questions in early and we'll try to answer all of them. Just a few other little notes. If you are part of our campus community, the exhibition is open through April 30th, and it is open 7 days a week, so weekdays 10 to 5, weekends 12 to 4. If you are not part of the campus community, we will put the virtual tour link in the chat for you to follow along there. In addition to the awards that will be announced tonight, we also have a Visitor's Choice Award, and if you can come in the gallery and vote for that, or again, you could use the virtual tour and we'll provide you with the link, and that announcement will be made later this month. So thank you for joining us again. Last thank you is to Bearings, our exhibition sponsor. So I will turn it over to my colleague, Elizabeth Perry.
Hi, so I want to introduce Dr. Emily Stamey, who selected the awards tonight as our guest juror. So Dr. Emily Stamey is the curator of exhibitions at the Weatherspoon Art Museum at UNC Greensboro. She holds an MA and a PhD in art history from the University of Kansas. She's held curatorial positions at the Scottsdale Museum of Contemporary Art in Arizona and the Ulrich Museum of Art at Wichita State University at Kansas. Her research focuses on the social histories of modern and contemporary art in the United States. We're so pleased to have you here with us today, Emily, so thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to attempt to share my screen here. Okay, someone in a little bubble box, give me a thumbs up if this can be seen okay. Wonderful, thank you. So Leah and everyone at the gallery, everyone at the college, thank you so much for the chance to come and look at all the art and to make selections. It is an incredible show. Everyone who participated should be so pleased with themselves and so excited to have their work on view. It was agonizing to try and make choices. Leah can attest. It took me a while to figure out who was going to get what award. So that's always a difficult process, but you have to land somewhere. So my compliments to, and I am going to be remiss in remembering who made this lovely PowerPoint for me, but somebody put this all together for me, which is such a treat to have images so that we can all look at these awards as I announce them. I will ask in advance, forgive me if I pronounce your name incorrectly, since I haven't had a chance to meet you all in person. I'm going to do my best, but I might not get it quite right. And then I look forward to staying on and hearing you all talk about your work. I will say I have had something come up and I'm going to have to sneak off a little bit early. So please do not take offense to any of that. I wish that I could stand for the whole thing, and I will watch the recording later. So with that and no further ado, we will go forward with the honorable mentions first. Let me switch to my notes here. So we begin with Annalise Clare's House on Kings Road. And I will say one of the things I loved about this was its combination of sort of whimsy and mystery. So for those of you who haven't seen this in the gallery, this is an animated image in which a number of sort of quirky and magical things happen as we move through both this interior and this exterior set of spaces. So Annalise, congratulations. This is a really lovely piece. The next, Arthropod by Caroline Sillers. This piece just totally struck me with its eloquence. I mean, there's so little here. We have two sets of found objects, very ordinary things that have been put together in this really evocative way. Both that, you know, references some kind of a creature, but is also just a really lovely sculptural form unto itself. So, you know, beautiful work, Caroline. This was lovely. Our next honorable mention, Howard Harrell. Howard, I'm sorry, I'm not getting your name quite right. This fantastic video, Do Not Eat, which I loved for its pairing of minimalism in an interesting way. I mean, it's very straightforward in that we have this singular figure against this dark background, and then just this small changing element of the different kinds of foods that he tries to put onto this. I'm blanking on the term, the skewer, sorry, thank you. And there is this, so there's that minimalism, but it's paired with this absurdity, and that of course, nothing other than those beginning peppers and onions on the skewer are going to fit onto the skewer. So a lovely sort of deadpan humor at work in this one. So congratulations, Howard. And then the fourth of the honorable mentions, Natalie Hall's Untitled work. I loved here again, and maybe this is a through line among a lot of the works that I was drawn to, is this sense of juxtaposition. So, you know, this beautiful image of a pillow, which we think of as soft and comforting and something on the interior of a home, but painted on these fragmented, broken, hard concrete bricks, which would be anything but comforting, and would be the kind of element that we would find on the exterior of the home or out in the street. So a nice and thoughtful pairing of opposites in a formally compelling arrangement. So congratulations, Natalie. All right, and now if we had like people to do an actual drum roll, we would do the drum roll. So now we get to the actual awards, and I will go in reverse order. So we will start with third place, move to second, and then on to first. So third place, Avery Fleeman's Untitled. What I loved about this was, again, this juxtaposition of these really rigid geometric forms. So we've got all of these triangles stacked as though they're like perfect pieces in any kind of a structure, a building structure of some kind. And yet the coloring comes, when we read the label, from cabbage and beet and wine, from all of these organic materials. And there's this, you know, incredible thoughtfulness to how it is placed on the wall, how it interacts with the surface, in that some of the pages and pieces are allowed to fall back and to curl. So we get a sense of this materiality of the paper. But then you also get this incredible reflective property going on, so that the back sides of some of these pages, and you can, and if you all can see my cursor, like here and here are this vibrant sort of pinkish red color, and then it reflects onto the wall. So you get this hue of pink back here behind. So much to engage your eye and hold your attention with this piece. So congratulations, Avery. Second place, Ragnar Schmidt. I think I'm actually, am I seeing you in the window, Ragnar? Okay, lovely. I can't tell who I'm seeing and not. So this just has exquisite draftsmanship. I mean, this is just a beautifully drawn image. And I love the play between both positive and negative space, the dark and light, the varying quality of how much is really intricately rendered and how much is more sort of suggestively presented. And then these little pops of red that just sort of jump out at you. So this incredibly enigmatic image, I mean, we could imagine and have a whole storytelling class about what on earth is going on here and who is this creature or what is this creature. But then also formally just a really stunning image. So congratulations, Ragnar. And then last, but certainly not least, for first place, Sophia Bell or Beal. Sophia, I hope I'm getting the last name right. Lips, this absolutely amazing kinetic sculpture that I found at once sort of whimsical, a little bit terrifying, sort of humorous, sort of poignant. It left me completely unresolved in the best way possible. So sometimes a work you can't quite land on a meaning and you walk away really frustrated and you think that was just a very inconclusive work of art. This one is the opposite in that it seems to be opening up a bunch of meanings. So it left me curious, it left me wondering, it left me imagining, and I just found it entirely delightful. So huge congratulations, Sophia. Again, congrats to everybody. This is just a really tremendous accomplishment, especially since I know all of you were working in not ideal circumstances this year. So you managed to create really compelling work in the midst of a really trying year when we all need compelling artwork more than ever. So congratulations and thank you for letting me be a part of looking at it all.
Thank you, Emily, so much for that. Congratulations to all the students. And now we're going to transition into our student presentation. So there's about 15 or 16 students that will present just a short bit about their work. Thank you again, Emily, and thanks again to Barings for making those awards possible. Thank you.
Okay, hi, I'm Sarah Jackson, and I'm a junior and I'm a studio art major and economics minor. So this is my piece here, and it's called Tensed in Nature. And I did it with charcoal and acrylic paint and gesso. And in this work, I was really thinking about my own physical movement coming from South Africa to America. And when you go between two different countries, you're kind of very disconnected and connected to both at the same time. So that's what I was thinking about in this piece. And I wanted to show the limbo between two different landscapes, but from my own personal experience. So thank you.
My name is Chloe Pitkoff. I'm a senior studio art major. And these are a series of books I created in the artist book class with Tyler Starr. It was from the first project, which was to create a pamphlet book, which is just sort of like a one piece of folded paper. And I really took interest in pop-up books and kind of continued my interest in pattern and figure, which comes up in more of my painted work, which tends to be by medium, but I was really excited to explore it in this form as well. The theme of the project was instruction. So I was thinking about I'm really inspired by children's books, and I think a lot about Alice in Wonderland. And so I was thinking in terms of the like little piece of cake and a little drink that I like eat me and drink me, and sort of how those commands and instructions, or those commands are a form of instruction, and how like in two simple words you can tell someone to do something that they might be interested in doing, but it's also sort of forcing someone to do something, and sort of the humor aspect of that as well. So these are called Count on Me. It's a series of hands. And then there is hold on and high five. Keep it cool are these sunglasses. And also in the exhibition, you're encouraged to pick them up and sort of try them out. So there's different ways that you can play around with them. Pucker up is a set of lips. And yeah, they move in sort of this pop-up way as well. And back there too. And then there's tickle me and lean on me, which are sets of feet. So thank you very much.
Does this mean that I should start talking?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So first of all, yeah, thank you very much for letting me share some of my art. And I'm super happy to be featured in the gallery this year. And yeah, so I'm Ragnar Schmidt. I'm an economics major, art minor. And yeah, this is bird law. So with this piece, I was trying to think of a situation that just didn't really make sense conceptually. Like someone who's half human, half bird, who's in charge of the rules of the cave. And his one law or rule for the cave is birds can't leave the cave. So it doesn't make any sense because, you know, birds shouldn't be flying in the cave. They should be flying in the sky. So yeah, that's the concept behind it. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Morgan Martin. I'm a sophomore and I'm an immersive computing major and film media studies minor. And my piece is called Beauty in the Tree. It's about the roots within my life, and it's my self-portrait because I took the opposing perspectives within my family and how they built me and created it to embody the roots and how they've kind of formed me. So here you can see like the Statue of Liberty, because I have people in my family who are ancestors or are ancestors of I have oppressors and people who are oppressed in my family, and then I have different political perspectives as well as different religious perspectives, and so I wanted to embody that within my work. And then as you can see, the leaves are also embodied by the same the same template I used for the roots, and then I just changed the color and mixed them.
Hi, my name is Marianelle. This was my self-portrait as a pattern from last semester's digital art class. I was thinking a lot about patterns and randomization and kind of how that could be translated into a mirror portrait as a kind of contemporary sort of composition to kind of place that into a more rasterized image. I used SVTs and in the system called processing that was produced by Casey Reyes. And it was very helpful to kind of see how I could translate objects from around my life into a pattern and kind of recreate that. And it was very informative to kind of translate myself through a digital space to kind of understand my own self-image.
Hi, my name's Howard. I'm a first year. And sort of the concept for this video project was just one word, it was futility. And so I thought about sort of the futility of trying to eat like correctly, sort of the endless struggle of trying to do that. And I guess just everything that you're supposed to eat is supposed to be like ideally like locally sourced, ethically sourced, vegan, non-GMO, organic, nutritious. And so my concept was just sort of to show like the desperate and sort of pointless feeling of trying to eat everything completely correctly, and kind of the horror and desperation that comes from that. I think if I were to do it again, I probably would not go so over the top with it, but I do think it came out in an interesting way, at least. So, thank you.
Thank you. Clearly came out in a good way with your award. Congratulations to you and Ragnar.
My name is Sophia, and I'm a studio art major and a junior. This is Lips, my kinetic sculpture I've been working on for the past 2 semesters. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who has helped me with this. This has been like a community piece almost, where everyone has like donated parts and time and pieces of inspiration and ideas for it. So thank you, everyone. And so I'm really interested in ideas about technology and the human body, and our relationship with technology, and also this idea of whether we control technology or technology controls us. So I like for you to read this piece and for it to kind of confuse you. I really appreciate that the juror said that she left feeling unresolved, because I feel like sometimes the most powerful pieces are the ones where you don't really understand, and they don't even necessarily evoke a positive response. They could just like confuse you or make you a little bit uncomfortable. And I think those are some of the most exciting moments. And I wanted to take the rest of this time to show you guys the piece moving, because I think the experience around it is the most important part.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a senior environmental studies major, and this is a piece I made for my intro to digital art class with a pattern of a portrait of myself. So my inspiration for this project came from satellite imagery of my hometown of Easton, North Carolina. And I really liked how the different plots of land, particularly the agricultural fields, form this geometric pattern. And so I wanted the piece to reflect an aerial view, but also a just straight on view of the landscape. This, my hometown faces a lot of challenges, particularly related to climate change, and I wanted that to reflect in the work, and also the different paths we can take moving forward with regards to climate change and protecting the natural landscape, and learning how to incorporate the also necessary developed and agricultural environment with the natural environment.
Hi everyone, I wanted to remind y'all who are watching on YouTube that you are welcome to ask our students questions in the chat, and I will read them out for you once we finish talking.
Okay, hi, my name is Sarah. I'm a sophomore, psychology and art history double major.
And this work is called 2020 because it's basically just a reflection of all of my experiences and my feelings in 2020, which is a very chaotic and very different year for all of us. And as you can see, it's also kind of chaotic in the painting, and it's also the first time that I ever tried watercolor. I think this work is basically trying to capture the physicality of myself being a biological object, and also the mentality of myself trying to figure out exactly what's going on in my mind in 2020. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
I'm a junior. I'm a studio art major.
The video's cutting out.
Oh, thank you for letting us know. How are you doing?
I think, yeah, it's good now.
Yeah, so just very empirical subject matter for me, spearfishing. One of the great things I love doing in California, and learning how to do it for my dad. But just the concept was slowing down and how I can figure out how to paint that throughout the spearfishing subject matter. And this is the largest painting I've ever done so far.
Hi everyone, my name is Annalise Claire and I am an Arab Studies and Digital and Screen Media Studies double major. I'm a junior. So this piece, my piece is called The House on Kings Road, and it is based off of an abandoned house on my grandfather's nursery. My cousins and I fixed up this house several years ago, and so I put these pieces together using Photoshop. It's a collage. First of the house, the exterior, then the interior, and then of the Citrus Grove beyond. So it's a fun piece to put together, and I'm grateful for the honorable mention. Thank you. Okay.
We knew we would forget something. So we want to actually make sure that you get to see the current piece. We have to do a little. This one, right? Sorry about that.
Hi everyone, I'm Adrienne Lee. I'm a studio art major and neuroscience minor. This piece is titled Change in Part for Chun Shin in Turbine Frequencies. And the media here is cast bronze, plasma cut steel, aluminum wire that I wrote myself, and Japanese ochre paper. The visual language that you see here, they kind of speak to each other. I have been incorporating all the kind of visual exposure from my neuroscience coursework, as well as the arboreal or tent structures that I have been inspired by since the start of the pandemic. I was here for a full year, and I think I've really been enjoying the nature and the kind of visual mimicry between the botanical and the neuronal structures. And these are some of the materials that I've already been familiar with, such as the plasma cut steel and as well as bronze. But I thought that I would extend maybe towards other skill sets that I haven't tried yet, such as weaving aluminum wire that resembles a fence, as well as this Japanese ochre paper, this almost rice paper-like lace structure that speaks to the neural maybe tissues. And I'm interested in exploring what my identity means through all the kind of movement that has been recurrent in my past, as well as thinking about what is the relationship between something that is solid, so solidity versus ephemerality, and how they want to move towards an abstract idea. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Laura. I use she/they pronouns. I'm a sophomore studio art major with a gender and sexuality studies minor. This is my piece, I'm All That I Need / Garrett in the Forest with Friends. This piece was really inspired by a significant time in my life of feeling like I had a clean slate and a lot of power and ability to kind of move forward. And when I'm in like significant moments in my life, I tend to interpret them through tarot cards. And so I was feeling really inspired by the Three of Wands. And so I kind of borrowed that composition and infused in objects from my life at the time and things that felt significant to me. So I'll use like animals and nature and that type of symbolism to bring forward meaning. So blue herons have always been really significant to me. And as well as just using interesting strokes in nature scenes to kind of exaggerate the beauty and comfort that I feel in them. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Caroline Siller, and I'm a first year intended art history major, and this is my sculpture that I made for my basic sculpture class. The assignment was to make a ready-made sculpture, which basically means to take found objects, alter them in some way, and turn them into something else. So I took a ladle that I bought from a dollar store and I snapped it. And then I took some binder clips, pulled them apart, and attached them up and down the handle of the ladles. Yeah, I really like this piece. I like how it came out. I think it looks really like animal-like. That's why I named it Art with God. I think it looks very final.
Hey, my name is Avery. I'm a junior and I'm a studio art major. This is not the piece I'm planning to talk about, but now I feel like I should. And I thought I would talk a little bit about the process of it and how this came into being. So this kind of started on accident when I left a grapefruit rotting on a metal table on a piece of paper, and it like oxidized into these like beautiful bright colors. And as someone who's taken a lot of chemistry courses, this is so interesting to me. And And so I really wanted to like capture those oxidation reactions that are happening on the metal. So I started treating the sheets of metal with different chemicals like rendering dyes, and kind of capturing the process and how to just move it to fit. I let the paper kind of turn the colors over time. It is a very like passive process, and I was really enjoying the results I'm getting because I never knew what, I didn't know what to expect. I never knew what I was going to get. So then after that, I think like that is a process that is very out of control, which I enjoy, but I think I want to bring like control to this work as well. So after some slicing and dicing, I kind of like arranged in a very geometric structure, which is like very much in juxtaposition of kind of the organic process that is happening with different chemicals. And I think that's kind of indicative of like this internal conflict I have sometimes with like building a really desiring structure, but being very incapable like organization. So I think that's kind of what this work means to me.
Thanks so much for joining us for this event, spending time with us. It's really, in such a weird semester, it's really inspiring to see all this amazing work made by students, and it just feels really good actually to have people together in the gallery. Thank you again. We hope that you will visit the virtual tour, visit the gallery in person if you are part of the campus community. Vote for the Visitor's Choice Award, and thank you again to Bearings and all of the student participants and all of the faculty that have helped put the exhibition together. Thanks.